Have a great weekend, everybody, and please subscribe to the channel.
That's one of those hits that he's going to feel not only tomorrow, but probably for the rest of the series.
You're saying it impacts your breathing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a rib or the oblique muscle, but if you get hit in that rib cage and you're sore there, that can really impact breathing, especially when you take a deep breath.
Gallinari hits a long two, but 4 quick points for Danilo Gallinari. He missed 9 straight shots in the middle of game 1 until a basket here early on. He's got 2 buckets. Tucker from the corner. Usually that's money, but he couldn't knock it down. Here's Young out in transition. 0 for 1 from the floor. Nice pass inside. And Hunter gets it to roll home to tie the game at 8.
Great cut from Hunter there. Trey led the NBA in total assists this year. The ultimate playmaker.
Just under 10 assists per game. Deep 3 goes down for Kyle Lowry. Shooting just 30% from 3 in the series, but close to 40% during the regular season.
We've talked about this with Spo a couple times this season, but Kyle has such a good pulse on when to be a scorer and when to be a facilitator. It's an interesting thing to note tonight as he gets aggressive early.
Jimmy Butler comes up short on the 3, his first miss of the game. The 2-year point on Lowry, it's his first year with Miami. He seems like a perfect fit with the culture of the Heat, a champion in Toronto 3 years ago.
Well, the Heat have a bunch of guys that have an edge to them. And Spo told us before the game that Lowry is actually the calming influence on the team, which I find to be hilarious.
Here's Trae Young. Step back 2 goes down. So Young on the board with his first field goal. 1 for 12 in game 1. Better shooting overall in game 2. We'll see if the 3-point shot gets on track here tonight in game 3.
Dave McMillan talks about attacking before the Miami Heat defense is set. There's a great example of that with Trae Young in transition.
Strus missed the 3. Just his 5th career playoff game. Played in 2 games last year, but only played 6 total minutes. Good play by Butler, anticipating that, and then the take foul by Trae Young. His first, 3rd on Atlanta.
Attacking in transition before the defense is set. There's no one at the nail. That's giving Trae the space, using that crossover dribble on Strus to create that separation and knock it down. You know, on that Jimmy Butler steal, I really believe this. He would have made a great free safety in football. He's as good at getting in the passing lanes as anyone in the NBA right now. He had a big steal in the 4th quarter of game 2 where he did that and he stole the ball on a Trae Young pass and went down and dunked. And that's another example of that right there. Just a great sense of how to read the field, if you will.
They're looking to determine whether a clear path foul. So 2 free throws and the ball for Miami. Clear path foul is called. The 2-year point on Butler. Look, he played 57 games this year. He plays in more games. He's probably on the all-defensive team, maybe even in the running for defensive player of the year.
And he's certainly on one of the all-NBA teams.
Yes.
Given that we are going to reward team success as well, and the Heat ended up with the #1 seed in a loaded Eastern Conference this year.
You saw that graphic. 5-time all-defense, 4-time third-team all-NBA, and a 6-time all-star. Missed 18 games in December with an ankle injury. He looks fresh. Came out of Bio, who missed 21 games during the regular season with a thumb injury. He looks good as well. So maybe those games missed during the regular season ultimately will benefit the Heat because they're healthy at the right time. And you get a lot of teams that are not healthy right now, like Phoenix, which plays later tonight. We'll get you an update on whether that tip time has been moved because our tip time was suspended 40 minutes. Here's Hunter from Young. Gets stripped by Lowry, but they're going to call a foul. That's the first on the Heat.
the things that you have to do against a loaded defense with Trae Young. You've got to back cut the nail. DeAndre Hunter already has done that twice tonight, and Trae has found it.
13-10, 5 minutes gone by. Miami in front, trying to go up 3-0 in the series. Here's Young driving, baseline cut off, puts up the shot, no, and a backside board for Jimmy Butler. 3 rebounds already, 1 assist and 7 points for Butler, and showing no ill effects of the injury from earlier in the game. Shot clock down to 5. Butler in the corner has to hoist it with a timer of 2. Off 1 foot, backing away. No good. And Gallinari bats it, tried to get it to Trae Young, ends up in the hands of Butler. Lowry penetrates. Here's Tucker, shot clock down to 1. Lowry puts it up from deep, and it's short. And Bam battling with John Collins, and they're going to call a foul on Collins. So a third chance for Miami to get something out of this possession. First foul on Collins, 14th foul.
Great effort there from Bam. Extra possessions always matter more in the playoffs. They get 2 looks at it already. That's a great offensive possession for Miami. Great ball movement, unselfish play. Let's see if they can take advantage here on the third try.
Backdoor feed, and Butler flies to the rim and stuffs. Bam has always been an excellent passer and made the right play.
I said this the other day. Jimmy Butler has a bit of an unorthodox offensive game for a 20-plus point scorer. So much of the stuff is at the rim, layups, offensive rebounds, and cuts.
Playing in the playoffs for the 10th time in his 11th season since being the last pick of the first round back in 2011 out of Marquette. Foul on Lowry.
Bam is such an important part of this Miami offense, even when he's not scoring, as a facilitator out of that high post in all of their movement action.
Adebayo in his 5th year now. That finals team 2 years ago, he averaged 18 points, 10 rebounds. And a backcourt violation. Another turnover by Atlanta. That's been a big problem in this series. That's the second so far this game, but through the first 2 games, Nate McMillan's team committed 37 turnovers. They led the league in fewest turnovers per game during the regular season.
Big emphasis pregame when we talked to Coach McMillan. Limiting turnovers and attacking before the Miami Heat defense gets set. Costly mistake there.
Strus, and he stepped out of bounds. He was trying to come off that screen and get a quick shot. He had Trae Young trailing him, but he stepped on the sideline in front of the Miami bench. Hunter with 4 points, Gallinari with 4, Trae Young with 2. That's the scoring for the Hawks. Entry pass batted away by Adebayo. Out in front to Tyler Hero. Leaves it for Strus. Now Hero catch and shoot, corner 3, hit it, and it's 18-10 Miami. First points for Tyler Hero.
Great defensive play there from Bam, and an unselfish play from from Max Strus, who could have shot the 3. Made the good to great pass to Tyler Hero for the 3.
Herter's basket ends a 7-0 Heat run. Hero's going to be named 6th man of the year here soon. 22-year-old out of Kentucky, missed the shot there. Herter with the clear. Miami gets back though in transition defensively.
Stay tuned for more from the Heat and the Hawks. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great weekend, friends.